Nothing crazy. Everything is motivational and inspirational. Hopefully you can innovate to another level. You hear me? What's up with my man? We trying to get you in. Yeah, man. Rubiano Rasu. Cockpit talk. What's up, man? What's going on, man?
What's going on?
What's going on, man? We in a cockpit. Cockpit talk podcast. Fly individuals. Fly conversation from a fly point of view. You know, this a Hunter's Point edition too, right here today. So, yeah, man. So we flying in. Tell the people who you is, what you doing, where you from, boss.
Well, basically, I go by the name of Rico. Got the street name Rico Act from being in the streets. Of course, if y'all don't know what the Rico Act is, I'll explain it to you a little later in the show. Born and raised in Bayview, Hunters Point. Don't claim no sets, don't claim no blocks, just straight Hunters Point.
Okay, man. So, flying in with the first question. We know you a businessman of many handles. You done dabbled in all different types of businesses.
For
So,
sure.
the first question we want to know is, from the 80s to, 2022, what is the difference in the hustle and from what you done seen and what you done learned?
I mean, me growing up in the 80s, it was the real hustle. Who is who was, who you don't know. But it was to me, it was more all one. I can say that. You know what I mean? Like, I have friends from all over the Bay. Richmond, Oakland, uh, Vallejo, all parts of San Francisco, Lakeview, Fillmore. You know what I mean? Everybody was hustlers, knew everybody. It wasn't no funk, wasn't no drama. Everybody was trying to get that bag, get that money. You know what I mean? There wasn't no major issues. Nowadays, the hustle done changed. You know what I mean? It's all about bipping cars. You know, I just say that because I just got my car bipped about 2 weeks ago. I'm pissed. Crazy part about it is, the crazy part about it is I didn't have nothing in the car. That's the crazy part. They
Crazy.
break three windows, man. The crazy part about it, I had like two candy bars. They didn't take my candy bars, but anyway, you know what I mean? That's what the new hustle was about between now and the 80s. The 80s, you know what I mean? We was block monsters, man. We was block wars. You know what I mean? We stayed on the block. So all we did was stay on the block and hustle. We grind. You know what I mean? Some people was able to make it out. Some people wasn't able to make it out. You know what I mean? But those like me and the chosen few, you know what I mean? We made it out. You know what I mean? I'd have been there, done that. You know what I mean? But the new hustle was crazy. Like I said, bipping cars, EDD, whatever they got going on. You know what I mean? Running the jewelry stores, all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But I think the police play a big part of that anyway, because we was growing up, police, they wanted you, they coming to get you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They gonna run you down. Everybody know about the white ghost in every hood. You know what I mean? They gonna run you down. They gonna track you down. You know what I mean? And
So where did you see it turn? Cause I know it was like everybody hustling and then some kind of just switched. Like when did it just turn into like just everybody trying to get the easy hustle instead of starting from a little bit to get a lot, or just starting from a 10 sack to get to a zip. Like, when did it change from you had to start from the bottom to just jumping in and, oh, I'm gonna be the boss now? When did you see it kind of turn?
what I missed that era. I was gone.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I was in the federal penitentiary at that time. You know what I mean? Did a nice little 10 piece.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was gone, a lot of this stuff transitioned over to what it is now. So
Mm.
when I came home, I just couldn't believe it. You know
Mm.
what I mean? And then it was like, we was really out there hustling. You know what I mean? From a penny pop to a key. You know what I mean? We was
Mm.
really, really hustling back in the days. You know what I mean? And now you got all this new man-made drugs and shit that I don't even have no clue, don't have no idea. But the police and the government is letting them do it.
Mm.
So you can get on the corners and hustle all day, man. Have a pocket full of whatever you got, whatever you selling, police gonna drive right by you. They ain't gonna mess with you. So the hustle is easier. I mean, there's no money in it. I mean, it might help you pay your bills or something, but it's not. You can't get nowhere in that. You got to do something legit nowadays and get you a 9 to 5, man, and work. I mean, if you still want to hustle, that's on you. I don't knock nobody. You know what I mean? For hustling, you got to do whatever you got to do to feed your family. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, but you got to get that 9 to 5, because one thing about hustling, it ain't no retirement in hustling. You know what I mean? And we get to that age where, you know what I mean, you're going to need medical, you know what I mean, to take care of you for the rest of your life. You're going to need some type of retirement where when you can't hustle, how it's going to pay your bills and stuff like that. It get to that point. So, you know, some people transition over to it and some people don't, you know what I mean? And like I see a lot of the young homies, a lot of my family members and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And they ask me, and I tell them straight up, you know what I mean? No cut, no chaser. I just tell them straight up, man, get you a 9 to 5, man. The hustling, the game is over. You know what I mean? The game is technically over. I mean, just to say you hustling, to me, it's just a figure of speech nowadays, man. It'll never be the same. And the crazy part about it is they say history repeats itself. I don't think hustling gonna repeat itself.
I don't think so either.
And the reason why I say that is because, you know, if you trip, leather pants is back now. I've been seeing people wear leather pants again. You know what I mean? Leather pants, you know, Argyle socks, whatever. History, polo, everything repeats itself.
For real.
But I don't think hustling gonna repeat itself, homie. I really don't.
Yeah, that's real, because it's just everything is too fast now. Don't nobody want to, you know, don't nobody want to be the middleman. Don't nobody want to work their way from the bottom to the top. It's just, I want to be everything right now. I want it instant. And that's what the internet then did. The internet did that too.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's crazy because you said the internet, you know what I mean? Like my little cousin them, shouts out, I see you, brand new rail, you know what I mean? Go pick him up, check him out. And, you know, they the ones who turned me on to this. I was old school. I never did the MySpace. Remember the MySpace? I've never done none of this. Long as you've been knowing me, I've always been like a low-key dude. You know what I mean? Stay in my lane, mind my own business. You know what I mean? So all this stuff is new to me. Some of this, like all this stuff now, the social media, I'm still learning every day about this social media stuff. You know what I mean? But I try and catch up with the times. You know what I mean? This Cash App, this Zelle, all that shit is new to me. We didn't have that growing up. You know what I mean? Keep your money somewhere safe at your mama's house, stuffed in the mattress or in a Michael Jordan shoebox or something, go bury it in the backyard or something. That's how we used to save our money and send money and do what we need to do. All this shit is new. You know what I mean?
So switching lanes a little bit, you know, now that we done seen the game, and we done seen all aspects of it. We done went to jail, we done did this and we done did that. Now we got kids to raise. Now, you see, kind of like, I don't know if you pay attention, but it's a lot of celebrity kids that's kind of just like wilding out right now. And it's like how do we kind of discipline these kids when they got everything? Like how do we, I mean, how do we, because these kids is they out here living with no remorse, like they not scared to die because they never been through nothing. So, you know, I guess they looking at it through a TV standpoint, like maybe I could be that or I could portray that. So how do we, you know, how do we kind of as parents kind of direct that and guide that without, you know, putting a foot in their ass like every single day, or putting a foot in their ass, is that the way to go?
When you touch a kid nowadays, you're going to jail. But anyway, it's like, well, you just said it. It's the social media. You know what I mean? The social media shit is more of a facade. You know what I mean? You can be anybody you want to be on social media. You know what I mean? And a lot of stuff, some of the stuff be real on social media. Some of the stuff don't be real on social media. So when you not spending time with your kids and you letting BET raise your kids, or you letting the social media raise your kids, or these video games raise your kids, ain't no telling where they're headed. You know what I mean? Because you look at all of the school shootings, you look at all this stuff, where's they getting all this stuff from? I'm pretty sure their parents wasn't like that, you know what I mean? But they're not raising them. They don't be entwined with their kids. You know, I lost a big chunk of my kids' life. You know what I mean? I'm still learning my kids every day. You know what I mean? Some was raised in the hood, some was raised outside the hood. You know what I mean? Some of my kids, you know, I had to sit down and explain to them and get them a story about where I came from, because most of them don't. I try to keep that away from my kids much as possible. But it's kind of hard being the person who I am, and a lot of people that know me, you know what I mean? And when they meet my kids, oh, that's your dad? And then they get to telling them, oh, you know, your dad was this, and you know, your dad was that, or your dad used to do this, or your dad used to do that. Then that's when the questions come from them. Like, you know, I sit down and I explain to them, you know what I mean, what I went through, what happened, you know what I mean? Or I start pulling out the old pictures and stuff like that. And because there's no, like, I done been on family vacations, I done been places with my kids, and it's a trip from San Diego to LA, wherever, Pasadena, everywhere. And somebody walk up to me and say something to me. You know what I mean? That's just, you know, from networking, from knowing people in the pen and stuff like that, and just being the person who I am. And first thing they'd be like, well, you know, Dad, how you know him? You know, and then I got to go into the spiel. Oh, well, you know, I was over here with them, or this and this and that and that and that. But these Hollywood kids, they really don't have a clue. And I think sometimes most of the ones that's getting in trouble, their parents done been in trouble also.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So if their parents has been in trouble and nothing happened, they feel like they can do it and nothing happened to them. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
That's
and that's
real.
not real. That's not like real Hollywood. You know what I mean? My dad carrying a gun, or my dad done shot somebody, whatever the case may be. Then, hey, they following suit. You feel what I'm saying? Which ain't a good thing. You know what I mean? I try and tell my kids, you know what I mean? That go to work, go to school, go to work. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, either what's going to end up happening is what happened to me. You're gonna be away from your family for a long period of time, or
I
you know what I mean? You're gonna be
just think
dirt.
I just think as us being parents, more than anything, we can't give up. We can't we can't stop giving them the game, even if they're not listening. Like I'm gonna keep giving it. I'm gonna keep giving them the game, and hopefully it stick. But my job as a parent is to keep giving them the good knowledge that I know. Now I don't know if they're gonna listen or they're gonna do the right thing. They might do the wrong thing. They might have to do the wrong thing to know the right thing. But you know, it's my it's our job to, you know, just keep putting it on put it on their mind, because we can't
Well, you
whoop
know,
their ass. We can't do nothing.
nah,
All we can
nah.
do is beat them up with these words, and hopefully it tattoo their brain.
But you know the old saying, man. You know, don't touch that. That burn. You know what I mean? Don't touch that. That's hot. You know what I mean? You can just tell them and tell them and tell them over and over. Sometimes they got to bump their head. You know what I mean? To understand and get it. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. I mean, it's reality. It's life. You know what I mean? It be like that sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's sad, but like you said, we just got to keep pressing and pressing and pressing. Like I talk to people almost every day, man. You know, I was downtown the other day, and you know, I seen this young lady who I see all the time. You know, I was on my way to work, and I've seen her grow up throughout the years. And I just had to pull her to the side as a, you know, as a black queen, as a black sister. I pulled her to the side, and I was like, you know what? I don't know your name, but I've been watching you for years. You know what I mean? And I see that, you know, you walk with your head straight, you mind your own business, you go to work, you know what I mean? You always got a smile on your face. And I told her, I said, you know, I just want to, you know, compliment you on that. I said, nobody probably never ever told you that, but I said, you know, you might needed to hear that. Because, you know, sometimes people put in this work and they don't know how people look at them. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to uplift people like that. Like, I'm a totally stranger to her. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure she done seen me plenty of times. You know what I mean? And I see her plenty of times. But every time I see her, she got her work uniform on. She got her blinders on. She walking straight. She ain't saying nothing to nobody. You know what I mean? She go in the store, buy a little soda or a little gum, and she just keep pushing. And I just, you know, just something in me just felt like I just had to say something. And, you know, she was like, you know what? I thank you for telling me that. I appreciate that. And that meant a lot to me. So in that same course of what you just was speaking, I mean, you know, like you said, we just got to keep trying to plant that seed, man. Lead by example and plant that seed.
Selfless acts. Selfless acts is always going to be a blessing for sure.
True enough, man.
So,
True
you know,
enough.
like I said, you know, we in a cockpit, man. We trying to get a better feel of the big Reekster. So, what you think about this White Lives Matter shit, man? Give us some what you think about that, because it's a whole lot of different thoughts. It's a whole lot of other bullshit. We know it's controversial, We know he did it as a publicity stunt to sell albums or sell them weak ass clothes, but ain't you turning your back on your people with this bullshit or no?
Dude is a weird dude. You know, I could say publicity, foolish shit, is sales. So like you say, he doing what he got to do because he's not really relevant no more. You know what I mean? He had his reign. You know what I mean? With the music, he had his reign. You know, with the Kardashians, you know, he had his reign. So I knew he was crazy when he's talking about he's going to run for president. I knew he was crazy when he was on that. You know what I mean? So he not he not all the way there. But long as he keep doing what he doing and is making him money, he gonna keep doing it. But us, like fools, go out and stand in these long ass lines and keep buying this shit. You know what I mean? So long as he keeps selling, he gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean? So that's
But what do that say about us as a people if we buying this shit knowing that he don't give a fuck about us?
Man, listen, sellouts, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, I own a couple of pair of Yeezys. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? The 350s, because they comfortable as a motherfucker. But all this other shit, I don't even got a clue. You know what I mean? If you're able to get your shit in, what are you in Gap and some other Gap? You selling motherfucking t-shirts and sweatsuits and shit for $400-$500 and just a regular cotton sweats. I don't, you know, but that's his hustle. I'm not knocking his hustle. That's his hustle. But that white lives matter shit, you know what I mean? He riding on that coattail, you know what I mean? And cool thing about it, the white people ain't buying that shit. It's us, African Americans and Latinos, we buying that shit because we think it's hot and it's fly. But the white people ain't buying it. I bet you they ain't buying it. So, you know, that's why I stand at that. I mean, it's tricky.
So with shit like that, where does that leave the future of hip hop? Is it anything? Is it WWF? Anything goes now?
Lightweight, to be honest with you.
So whatever you could come up with that's interesting, people pay attention. That's what it is.
Man, you know, if you just keep beating something in somebody, you just keep hearing like how they spin these songs on the radio. Eventually, it'd be songs on the radio. I mean, very seldom people listen to the radio, but when you listen to the radio, you hear the same songs. So it get embedded in your head. Next thing you know, you start singing the song. You know what I mean? I didn't like this song, but you start singing it because you keep hearing it. You keep hearing it. So if they just keep beating you into something, eventually it's gonna start rubbing off. You know what I mean? I mean that's everything. They just gonna keep beating it, and you just gonna keep listening. Eventually you're gonna start singing the hook. Then you're gonna start singing the lyrics because you keep hearing the same thing over and over and over. So with the hip hop issue, it's like, you know, I'm old school. You know what I mean? My playlist is still full of old school. Some of this new stuff I can't even relate to. I can't understand. You know what I mean? I mean, I get some of it I do, but majority of it I don't. I'm still old school, man. I still listen to all Bay Area artists and shit like that. You know what I mean? Still support them if they got something going on. You know what I mean? And that's it. I mean, as far as hip hop, I mean, I ain't gonna say it's dead. Hip hop will never be dead. It's just different waves that come through. You know what I mean? 1 minute, you know what I mean? Like right now, the Bay is hot. Bay is hot on music. You know what I mean? From what them Filmo cats is doing, from what Black Seeding came back, you know, Juice is back out here. You know what I mean? We need to start hearing more from like, you know, Selsky and all them. But, you know, the music is back. The music in the Bay is back. I mean, you know, 40. And one thing about 40, he gonna support you, and that's what I love about. He's not too big for everybody. You know what I mean? 40 gonna support you. He gonna go give you a nice 16. He gonna make sure you get on the radio and all that. You know what I mean? And he don't forget where he came from. He don't got to do it. He don't need to do music no more. You already see where he at and where he established that. You know what I mean?
That's real.
You know, you still got the San Quins out here. You know, people still out here grinding with this music. They putting out good music. You know, we just got to support them. That's it. But I ain't too keen on a lot of this new hip hop. I can't relate to it, man. I really can't.
I hear you. So you know, getting up out of here, man. What you want us to know? What do you want the people to know about RICO, Act, and RICO? What do you want your legacy to be remembered as? What do you want people to know you as?
Well, I want everybody to really remember me as being a good dude, solid dude. You know what I mean? I ain't never took nothing from nobody. You know what I mean? I always kept my name clean in the streets. You know, and as far as with the RICO, you know, that name followed me from the streets of growing up. You know what I mean? Young age, early 20s, went into the federal penitentiary with a 120-month sentence. When I got there, you know, everybody's like, what's your name? I'm like, Rico. They're like, Rico? You don't look like a Rico. You know what I mean? They were expecting me to be Mexican or whatever, Hispanic or whatever. And I'm like, no, that's my name. You know what I mean? And then we started hearing about the RICO statute. That's exactly what it's called, but it's also called the RICO Statute Act. You know what I mean? And that's where it came from. So I just start using the RICO Act. So when I came home, I started using it, and it just grew. I don't know if people still know about the hip hop music, but me and the big homie, Big Juice, started doing music and stuff. So I started doing like the RICO Act entertainment thing. So I started like putting on little shows in the hood.
I bought that album twice.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it, that Juice, if you look at it, it says, you know, Juice, Peel Music, RICO Act Volume 1. So a lot of people was like, you know, I was behind closed doors for a long time under the little music scene and stuff like that. And that's how it just grew, the RICO Act. So if you look up the definition of RICO Act, you will see it. You know what I mean? The R, I think stands for like racketeering, I believe. The R stands for racketeering, and I think the I stands for influential. I'm going to tell you right now what it means. I thought I had it written down somewhere because I was just doing some paperwork with somebody, and they was asking me what it meant. But the R stands for like racketeering. The I stands for influenced. The C stands for corrupt, and the O stands for organization. So that's my name, and that's what it's been. You know what I mean? So when you break it down to me going to the federal penitentiary, me running the streets, me being in the streets, me doing all that type of stuff, basically that's what I fell up under. I didn't get it. I didn't get the RICO Act, thank God, but that's kind of like what stuck to me, and I just been rolling with it. So now with the RICO Act, I done took it to the legit side, and I'm out here into this cannabis world. Okay, you know what I mean? And that's what I've been doing. So now I have the RICO Act, you know what I mean, and majority of the cannabis stores out in California, San Francisco to be predominantly in the Bay Area, and that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And it's legit. I ain't gotta turn my back. I ain't gotta look around. I ain't gotta do, you know what I mean, like I used to do. I ain't gotta run from nobody. You know what I mean? I can roll around the way I want to roll. I can move the way that I want to move. I ain't saying I'm untouchable, but I'm legit. You know what I mean? So that's basically where the RICO Act started at, and that's where it's gonna finish at. You know what I mean? And I tell everybody, you know, those who know me, it's a story behind it. You know what I mean? And that's basically what the story is. I mean, it's RICO Act all day long. I mean, I rep it before I even started the cannabis shit. I repped it when I was in the streets. I repped it with the music thing. I repped it when I was in the federal penitentiary. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. So
all the way from the dirt to it being a brand name, to being a household name now. So
yeah, it's a household name. Just trying to turn it into a brand. You know what I mean? Like I said, I got like right now. I got on this hoodie right now. You can really see it though, but you see it's
that's the new logo. That's the new one.
Yeah, this the new logo. The reason why I did that, I kind of toned it down because I had the signature handcuffs. That was my signature. But the other people, the white people, the other people, it was too aggressive for them. If you a hood dude, it was working for us, but for them, it was kind of a little over aggressive. So I had to tone it down a little bit and gave it a new look or whatever. And this month, of course, you see, is breast cancer awareness. So I'm just like, you know, I got these shirts on deck. You know what I mean? Y'all can hit me up on my Instagram, RICO Act Exotics. You know what I mean? And see if I got that size for you. It's also coming with a free pre-roll. Hey. You can't beat that.
Can't beat
but this is what I'm doing. And the reason why I came upon this was A lot of people that been through cancer know somebody that's been through cancer or somebody dealing with cancer.
That's for
You know
sure.
what I mean? And it's real, and it's a real serious disease. You know, and a few years back, well, not I ain't gonna say a few years back. It's been a minute. You know what I mean? I lost one of my son's mother to cancer.
Rest in
And
peace. Rest in peace.
yeah, yeah, and the way that thing came through, man, like a hurricane. It's not a good sight. It's not a good feeling. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
you know, for all those that's out there listening or watching this or whatever, or somebody dealing with this, it's a beast. It's really a beast. And then to see your people go through it is really, you know, humbling. It's real humbling. You know what I mean? Life is humbling. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? But yeah, that's where I'm at with it, homie. I mean, you know, I appreciate you for reaching out to me. You know what I mean? I
For
mean,
sure.
we've
For
been
sure.
we've been conversing. You know what I
Oh,
mean? I
for
see you
sure.
out
For
there
sure.
working. I see you out there working, doing your thing. You know what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean?
man. I appreciate that. Yeah,
What's up,
so man,
nephew? I see you on there.
like I said, man, we appreciate you, you know, giving us this game and this knowledge. I feel like this is what we need to do to help this generational gap, you know, so we can know what's going on and what we need to go through and what we need to look forward to, you know, and it's just a conversation, man. This is free. This I'm leaving this conversation right now having more game than I had before I talked to you. So man, game is free, and let's just keep passing it on. And this is for everybody, men and women. Let's just keep passing it on, man. Knowledge. Let's just keep passing it on.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is like we got to support each other.
We definitely.
I mean, anything we got to support each other, man. If, like you said, if it's through social media, if it's just buying a T-shirt from somebody, or if it's just, you know what I mean, checking on somebody, we just got to support each other, man. We losing it.
We
You
all
know
we
what I
got.
mean? Basically, we is.
We all we
Basically,
got.
is, man. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, just keep doing what you're doing, man. You know what I mean? You know me, man. You've been knowing me for a while. You know what I
Hell
mean? I ain't
yeah.
a hard dude. I ain't a hard dude to find. I ain't hiding. None of that. I don't owe nobody. I ain't got nobody looking for me. You know what I mean? I'm out here. You know what I mean? And
Hell
you
yeah.
know, if there's anything I can do in my power that can help you with anything that you trying to do, or vice versa, you know what I mean? You know, I'm just a phone call away, bro. Just hit me at any time. You know what I mean?
It's all good, man. Thank you. We appreciate your time.
I salute you.
We you know we got some more social media issues. We gonna tap back in with you. So this ain't the last time you gonna see Rico in the cockpit. And man,
Definitely appreciate it,
enjoy
man.
the rest of your evening. Shout out, you know, everybody say a prayer to the breast cancer and cancer people out there. And man, we love everybody and stay positive and stay safe.